Joy on Munjoy Hill Media Ministry.
And God approved. You do know that God doesn't use anything or anyone until it's gone through the proper amount of testing. I dare say you would not put tires on your car if you did not have some sense that those tires were tested, rated, if you will, for a certain amount of weight or a certain amount of speed. Engineers tell us that the only way that metal can safely be used is after testing it. It must exceed the testing requirements in order to be used for its intended use. I don't know how many of us would get in a vehicle and drive it miles and miles without an inspection sticker. I want you to know, if you invite me into your whip and your whip does not have a current inspection sticker, I'm not riding in your car. Because that sticker indicates that there's a minimum requirement of testing that that vehicle has undergone, and it has been certified, tested in order to be used. And so I want you to know that God, in order for Him to do something great, wonderful, and big through you, you must realize that your life is going to go through a period of testing. Someone say testing. And the testing may not be to your liking, but it's all about God's business of trying to bring something out of you through your circumstances. The truth of the matter is this, is that I rarely want advice from someone who's not gone through something already and can testify how they made it over. It's one thing to read about it in a textbook and to hear about it in a classroom, but if you have no practical knowledge of God making a way or God healing a body, it's one thing to begin to encourage me about what the book says, about what the preacher says, about what the teacher says, but tell me what God has done in your life.
All right. That's right.
In order for things to be purified, metal, it must go through the fire. And if we want to be those types of instruments that God would be used, we can't be afraid of fire. In fact, one of the problems we have in our society, in our communities, is that people have become afraid of the fire. No one wants to stand on the firing line. No one wants to stand in the front. No one wants to risk being unpopular in order to prophesy to power that God has something better for His people than what they're dealing with right now. No one wants to stand up and declare that poverty is not something that people long for. Unemployment is not something that people long for. Lack of health care is not what some people long for. But people need to realize if you want to see something different, you're going to have to stand in the firing line. Someone's going to have to stand up with a measure of boldness and say, for God I live and for God I die. I'm going to stand my ground and declare truth to power and let them know that God is the ultimate authority. So there are some things that God will not test you on if you've already mastered it. But if you've not mastered it, God is not the kind of teacher that offers social promotion. No, He wants you to learn from your mistakes and learn your lessons so you can apply those lessons to a future problem. Hey, I don't know if you know what I'm saying. That's the things that you're going through now and the perfection that God is bringing out in you now is really not for now. It's for what you are about to go into. God is a progressive God, and so He already knows your end to your beginning. So He already knows what's around the corner. He knows what ministry is around the corner. He knows what misery is around the corner. And God is preparing us now for what's next. Say, thank you, Lord. I'm glad I don't have to go into tomorrow wondering what's going to happen, because if I know you have faith is not tested in the most familiar of places. When you're in a familiar place, you have all of the things around you that keep you centered. And oftentimes God will test you in the most unfamiliar place. He told Abraham to get from where he was, to go to the mountain in the region of Moriah, and I'm going to show you where. He was one who stepped out on the unknown, y'all remember? And continues to step out on the unknown to go to a place where God is going to cause him to sacrifice his one and only son. The Bible says that place is a place of God's timing because the text says it came to pass. See, anytime you see it came to pass, it lets you know that God is operating in Kairos times, K-A-I-R-O-S. It means Kairos. Kairos means in good timing, appointed time. It's always God's intention to test you at the appointed time. You are right on the precipice of a breakthrough, of a new level, and when you get there, you need to understand that God will test you. Abraham was about to go to a different place in God, and God had decided now was the right, someone say right time, the right time to test him. This place of God's timing, this place of God's purpose was designed to prove his faith, to teach him faith, and to build his faith. Every time you come across a trying and testing situation, it is not there to tear you down, it's there to build you up. And you need to understand, my brothers and my sisters, it may hurt a little bit at the beginning, but God is just trying to toughen you up. Aren't you mad sometimes when it's Christians who are just soft, can't take a body blow, can't take a slap upside the head? They think that the devil is playing pit-pat and pancake. This is a war out here, and God is looking for some tough saints who've been through some things, who know how to flex their muscles, who can take a blow and keep on going, who can take a body punch and suck it up and keep on stepping. I don't know about you, but I want folk on my team who can take a punch and can keep on going, who can stand up tall when they trip you. Yes, it hurt. Yes, you're embarrassed, but you get back up, dust yourself off, and put one foot in front of the other and say, I'm heading to my place of destiny. You don't have to like it. You can be a hater. You can talk about me, but I'm pressing my way in faith. God is looking for some saints at Green Memorial who are tough.
That's right.
Who are tough. Who can handle it. And if the rain falls, you're still going to keep going. If the storm is coming up, you know that you have an anchor. In Jesus. You won't be tough. God is going to toughen us through our testing. God put your life in a crucible. To be pulverized. To be mixed and to mingled with his power and his word. Good things won't come out. You can never get extra virgin olive oil out of an olive until you put it through a press. You'll never have Welch's grape juice until you put some grapes in the press. And God will never get the sweetness out of your life until you get in the press. There's pressure that God will apply to your life. Coal does not become a diamond until there's some pressure. God gives pressure and time and heat, and after a while something worthless becomes something valuable. Who am I talking about in here? Have you ever saw yourself as something worthless, that nobody loved you, nobody cared for you, you were not the first person in line, would never catch me out, but then you got in the press, and God took something worthless and brought out something valuable. God saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself, didn't realize that something on the inside was trying to work its way on the outside, so that the world would realize that God specializes in taking nothing and bringing about something, that God specializes in taking no ones and making them into someone. But you need to have some pressure. The plan is beyond my understanding, that God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly, that even if it was dead, life. And so how do we really know that this is true? Well, if you go back to Golgotha's Hill, there was a son of God who was given a promised son called Messiah, who was marched down the Via Dolorosa. He was there, and Simon of Cyrene bore his cross until they got to the place of the skull. And at that place of the skull, hung up between two thieves, he was there, sinless, and had done nothing wrong, but he kept on hanging there. And the world began to think that the promises of God were about to die on Calvary's cross. But I got news for you. He hung there just long enough to take upon the sins of the whole world. Don't you know he could have called 10,000 hosts of angels to take him down? And while he hung there, the thief said, if he be the Son of God, take me down and take you down. But the other thief said, he did nothing wrong. Remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus said, this day I shall be with me in paradise. The same Jesus, while hanging there, said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. The same Jesus stood there and said, woman, behold thy son, son, behold thy woman. My mother, Jesus was still hanging there with the world on his shoulders. He didn't give up. He didn't turn back. But I come by to let you know, just like Abraham had faith, that God was able, even if my son died, to bring him back to me. God knew from the foundation of the world that his only begotten son would hang on a cross to redeem you and I. What shall I wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Jesus hung there, tested. Jesus hung there through triumph. Jesus hung there through triumph. 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 He died. Yes, he was buried. Yes, but on the third day, they rolled the stone away. And Jesus got up. Is there anybody who can testify? I've been through some hard times. I've been through some tough times. I've been through some trials. Gone through some temptation. Had some sickness. Had some sadness. But God is able to bring me back. I gotta bounce back.